Hello everybody. This is Tarina with hellotarina. I am getting started on my last installment of my lifelong scrapbooking series. Lifelong scrapbooking series? Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, this is my son's first birthday photos, and this is the last installment of these photos. I'm very excited about that because then I get to do something different. Woohoo! Um, I think it still might be in his album, just because I have a couple of loose ends that I want to kind of, clean up. Uh, I started his album a long time ago, but anyways, so that book that I just showed you was the Make It From Your Heart, from Close to My Heart. It's volume 3, and it shows projects that you can do. These are layouts, 12 by 12 layouts. And so I'm kind of doing the same thing I did on my last video. If you haven't seen that, I'll probably link that down in the description box below, or it'll be at the end, or both, for your viewing pleasure. So what I'm doing is I kind of went through and I decided on a layout that would kind of work for both of them. I didn't want to mimic the last one that I did, so I'm kind of, how do I explain this? I chose a different layout, and then I'm just going to kind of do the same idea with a little flip-flap in the middle. So it's not a flip-flap, it's a partial page protector, because I shrunk it down, just trimmed off some of the pockets, and so you guys can kind of see how this works. Let me see, I think this one was, let's see, my last one, the last one from last video was pattern number 1 is the one that I used, and then this one was, oh, what page was it? It's here somewhere. I shall look for it. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm using the same Stargazer paper pack that I used in my last video, just to keep the theme for the cake the same. I didn't want to change up, I kind of kept all the presents the same colors, color combos, and I'm doing the same with the cake. So that's kind of what I'm going off of. Okay, so it had to have been farther back. I'm just flipping through. I don't remember. For some reason, I want to say it was like... Interesting. That is not where it is. I think it was in towards the back where they had the Pocket Plus layouts, but I will have to double check that, because there's, oh yes, here. It is the Pocket Plus pattern 33. For those of you guys who are interested, it's a 4+ photos layout, and I just kind of used it as a guide. I didn't really, do it. Pretty much the background is what I went off of. I did like the idea of the red around the photos, so like the photo mats being in red, and I liked that idea. So like I said, for the most part, I just mimicked the background layout, background of the layout, the vertical stripes and such. So that's pretty much what I did. So yeah, that one's pattern number 33, which is on page 72 if you guys are interested. I am probably going to be using these a lot. kind of takes the guesswork out of it unless there's something specific that I want to do. Because I could definitely use my Pinterest boards. I have a lot of ideas saved on there. So I can switch back and forth. I think those would probably do a lot better with girl layouts than boys, but especially since his is 8.5 by 11. But we shall see. I'm very excited to be getting to scrapbook again. I have been waiting for ages, and of course, I didn't think I would be doing it when I was the most busy and things in life were like very crazy. But that's just kind of how it works. Um, so as you can see, I've kind of changed up instead of the I'm just kind of mixing and matching what things I want where and trying to make sure that I have all like the way I did the little four square page protector. I want when you lay it to the right side of the page, I want it to look like it belongs on the right side of the page. And then or like mostly. So I want, the blue pattern paper to be where the blue pattern paper is supposed to be. And then like when you flip it over to the left side of the page, I want it to have the light colored pattern paper because that's where the light pattern paper would be on the full sheet or full pocket page. If that makes sense to you guys, you'll kind of see it at the end where, when you flip it over, it's the right colors. So it just takes me a little to, actually get it all figured out and get things in their pockets because I like laying it all out. I'm laying out in essence like 3 pages, because I'm doing the left page, the right page, and the little pocket, both sides of the pocket page in the center. So just laying all that out is kind of a little bit of a pain because you have to remember where everything goes and all that kind of stuff. So, but I figure, I can put these in their spots and, just go that way. So I think this is when I start actually sticking things down. This photo was pulled from the original layouts that I had that were the bright orange and the turquoise or teal, or was not teal, it was like more of a minty turquoise color. And it has sticky on the back, so it kind of pulled out the back layout and was smaller than the other photos, which that doesn't really bother me. Like I said, I just added in added the pocket card to the, piece of pattern paper to the back, and it worked out just fine. For the most part, I just put all of this together, and then like these pieces here, had I thought about it before, I would have done a full sheet or like a full pocket card that's like the lighter color, and I could have done that, but then I would have been wasting that paper, and I didn't even want to waste that as paper. So and I didn't really want to take up more of my paper just because I made that kind of mistake that was, I mean, it's fairly easily to be easily fixable. So I just tape it together, which actually it worked out pretty decent. Surprisingly, I was really surprised. So you'll see that I kind of trim off or try to clean up the tops of my cuts because my trimmer is getting dull, so I have to work on that. But that's one of the things that's on my list of things to get. It's just I'd way rather spend my stuff on, or spend my money on stuff like paper and embellishments and the fun stuff, not the adhesive stuff or the trimmer stuff or any of that. So I'm just kind of making sure this is straight here, and then I realize this fits perfectly like that. So let's just tape it all together. So I flip it over, and I do find it quite amazing how close to my heart makes their older papers, and then like 2 or 3 years later you get new papers and they still go with the old papers, and it's just like I love that because then I can, I can find exactly what works and what doesn't, and I can mix and match, and it all goes so well together, and I love that part. It takes so much of the work out. But yeah, yeah, love, love, love. I will leave a link to my Close to My Heart page or website in the description box below. I don't. This Stargazer is no longer in, none of these papers are live. They are all retired now, but every year they have new papers, new stamp sets, new die cuts, new awesome stuff. Awesome possum. And I mean, we've got new stuff coming out September 1st, and I'm so very excited about that. Um, so, yeah, we are the excited. But if you guys want to check that out, that link will be down below. So, this is Poppy, the color Poppy, and it is a red, and it is one of the featured colors um, in the Stargazer pack. And I had a couple of sheets. I don't even know where I got it from, but I had a couple of sheets in my cardstock, and so I was very excited. So very excited. Because that worked out perfect. See, you can see that I must have lost some footage there because I got all of those backed up in the poppy color. So now I'm going to get started on the right hand page there. I think I did like, I want to say 3/4 of an inch for the dark gray piece, and then I think I did like 6.5 for the blue piece, and I just kind of adhered I just kind of guessed on the light colored piece and then just adhered it to where it was, an 8.5 by 11 size, and then just added my strips on there, and it worked out pretty nicely that way. And of course I brought in the striped paper from the first original, or not the first original, from my last layout. Again, I have a process video for that, so link will be down below. And you can kind of see there on the little pocket page down there that it matches the one behind it. So I wanted to make sure I, did that. So you could see the stripes up top at the photo, up on the top where my husband's taking a bite of the cake. That background matches the background on the little mini pocket page. So this photo was one that I had cut. I had saved it to not be cut, and then I cut it, and along with the full photo on my last layout that I did, and I was like, why did I cut it? I don't understand. I must have been just in a cutting mood or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I had to tape that back together, and it does have a line in it like the last one, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's just a picture of the cake. This one is the cake that he did not get to chomp, so that was for all the guests, but it was it was in his birthday theme, which was Finding Nemo, and which you really can't tell from this layout. But in fact, any of his layouts now, I mean, you can kind of tell because of the the present ones, but yeah, it definitely is not the orange and teal, or not teal, turquoise theme, like it probably should be, because his hat and everything else was those colors. But I don't know, just something about this color combination really spoke to me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to do it. And, we can still see in the pictures what kind of colors he, enjoyed. Um, but I really kind of wanted to just grab, pull out the colors that were in the pictures. And there's a lot of red in those pictures. There's a lot of brown too, but I didn't really want to pull in the brown. So I pulled in the blue because his eyes were blue then. They are not blue now. Um, his eyes are, I think they're a hazel now. Which my eyes went from brown to brown green to now they're hazel. So they're just, they're getting lighter as I go, which is kind of matching up with my dad's. My dad's is like a hazel, but it's like a gray hazel, which is kind of awesome. So it will be interesting to see what Kobe's eyes turn out like, because in these photos they were definitely blue. So I had no idea. I honestly had no idea what I was doing with these papers. Or with these photos. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really want to just put them, mount. What is the word? I didn't just want to put their, put them on photo mats and then stick them down. Like I said it before, I love layers. So I decided to just, add some layers. And this way, with using this striped vellum, it brings in some of the um, pattern and tone from the last layout and the layout before that and the layout before that, because I started using this striped vellum in it was in my first layout for his and it's like the first present layout for his first birthday. So it's kind of all the way throughout his first birthday um, uh, album pages, whatever you want to call it. So event. So I just decided, you know what? Let's just add that in there, and it adds a little bit of softness, but it also adds in a little bit of, color, and we already have horizontal stripes in red and white, so why not just add some pinstripe on vellum? And I don't know what I did. I just grabbed a piece of paper and I was like, oh, I like that, and set it down there, and I was like, oh, that fits perfect. And then I was like, wait a minute, does this fit on there? And it was like almost a perfect size, so I just trimmed down the end of it and it worked for the lighter piece. And then I was like, oh, well, that works perfect for there too, so let's just do that. So I don't know, it just kind of all came together like it was, so like it was meant to be. It was crazy. um, and then I just have to figure out what looks right and what doesn't, and then I was just like, okay, well, maybe we'll just do this, and I actually end up liking that. So then it's one of those things, if you like it, and you don't have any other ideas, just go with it. So that's kind of what I did. Um, I do end up adding a lot of embellishments to this um, spread, which I didn't do in my last one. I kept it pretty simple, but as you can tell, I mean, it just goes to show that every day is different. Every day is different, and I will feel different every day. So I'll get a different experience every day. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down there and then flip it over and add more adhesive. When you use vellum, you definitely just want to put the adhesive where the cardstock is, not where the vellum is. Like on the vellum where the cardstock is covering the adhesive. And I didn't pop any of these up on foam squares, which I was surprised. I did it on a couple of the embellishments, but so when I first did this, I put cake. I put the word cake where the S is. And then I was like, I already wrote cake on the last layout, I think. Or no, it was on one of his birthday layouts. His cousin it was only calmed down by cake. So, because he wanted the presents. So, I titled it Cake, and I was like, I don't want to title it Cake again. I don't want it Cake again. So then I decided to take that up and just totally cut that out because it took a while for me to realize that I didn't want it to be cake. But that was the only thing I was working on at the time. So I was just moving it around over and over again, and it just didn't work. So that's when I decided So Delicious would work just fine. So I am pulling all of these out. I kind of wish I had just like skipped through it, but I don't. I leave it in here for y'all to see. But it does go fairly decent. But yes, I do. One of the photos, which you will see, you could see right down next to my alphabet there, is a picture of him in the bath after he had had his cake. He was like, can we get back to the presents? He wanted to play with the presents again. And I was like, you have to get washed first. There will be no playing with presents until you're clean, because we can't be having that all over the carpet and the blankets and all that stuff. And then that red spot on his forehead there, it dyed his skin. Which in the picture with all the presents, you can, in the pictures with the presents, you can see the red spot on there, and it's so cute. That's it's just dyed he's just got a little spot there on his forehead, right between the eyes. Honestly, I didn't think that the red in the cake would dye that much, but it did. It definitely did. I think it lasted just that day and then it was gone, but it's still cute. But yeah, he was like, he did not understand why he had to take a bath. He wasn't upset about it. He was just like, he was so ready to be doing something else. So So yeah, if you ever have to lift up stickers, you can definitely try using it's like a Cricut spatula. It works pretty decently. I've used it for many different things. Today it helped take off my gel nails. So yeah, I definitely use it for all kinds of things. Um, and this is where the embellishments come in, and I decide to look through what I had this stashed away for the one of my main layouts, and so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick it right there, and it'll work just fine. I'll have two titles. Sure, why not? I actually don't. I mean, I'm not thrilled with the layout itself, but I am so very happy to have it done. And it doesn't. I mean, it for a kids album, it's not bad at all. So what I do when we have embellishments through Close to My Heart, because I sell Close to My Heart, I cut them up and like cut them out of the sticker sheets and stuff like that, and put them into a baggie, and put the name of the thing on the name of the collection on the baggie with my sticker label maker thing, and then once they are retired, then I put them in what are those? The mini iris photo bins. And then I put I put another label on the outside that tells me what collection is in that. I'm doing ums a lot. Anyways, it tells you what collection is in the bin, the little iris container. So I can look through it and I'm like, okay, I think that one had golds, that one had blacks. Some of these are from a Christmas line, and they worked out great. I was very surprised that they worked out so well. But like I said, I hadn't been through the retired compliments in a while, so I had to kind of dig through them all and see what did and didn't work and which ones were too big. And there was two collections that I really pulled from this time, um, and I just kind of pulled out all of the blacks and the grays. Not the warm grays, but just the cool grays, because I wanted to keep in with the uh, more bluer tones. So, but I do mix and match all of both of these complements and collections. I don't even remember. I think I showed it at some point which collections I used. Um, hmm. But I am starting to think that they. Oh no, no. One was. I think. Let me look here. So we did silver and gold, and I want to say better together. Yes, better together compliments. So in case you are wondering, those two are retired quite a bit ago, or quite a while ago, and they are really really good for black and white embellishments. So yeah, that is actually that little star up there by the word "so" is actually a like a I want to say it's a button. It's a I don't know what is that called? It is a it's not a tag. Okay, let me know in the comments what it's called. I can't remember. It's actually like a it's got like a domed round top and with the image on it, and then the back is a metal piece. The word is just eluding me. Um, I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me when I don't need it, most likely. So, yeah, for the most part, I'm just kind of mixing and matching all this kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it all, but I do figure it out. I love the idea of the word fun over there on the right hand side with the kind of oval uh, going on behind it and the stars below it. Do kind of wish the stars were a little bigger. And when you see what I'm talking about, you'll understand the outer edges of the stars down there by the word fun are a lot bigger than the actual sticker. So they end up little tiny, but I think they'll still work out just fine. And I think eventually here I will start sticking things down. Now that little thing that I keep moving around says uh, this is what it's all about. And I know I want to use it, I just don't have a clue where I want to use it. It needs to go somewhere. And I do find a spot for it, so. And I think I'm just, looking to see what all I want where. Honestly, I put a lot more on this layout than I did on any of the other ones, I think. Um, I don't know. I really, stars are something that I had in the original um, layout with his presents. So, I mean, of course, those ones were yellow, and um, so I did stick with those, those basic shapes and stuff like that. So, this needed a little bit of color, so I decided to add a little bit of color on there, and who knew, stars, a star wreathy kind of thing um, would work from a Christmas pack. I honestly didn't think that I would use it for anything but Christmas, but look at that, it works just fine. Again, I'm using the dark gray, mark fine liner from Arteza, for the lines and the lighter gray tone, one of the lighter gray tones for my words. And I think that was Dad taught you how to take a bite of the cake or something like that. Something like that. I don't remember what it says. And then I do pop up this fave or fun. I don't know why I said fave. Totally could have been fave, huh? Anyways, I popped that up on foam. Just the thin foam from 3M. And this is where I see that the colors, the background color doesn't really match, so that's when I was like, okay, well then I'm going to just add a little bit of a red and white stripe here so that when it opens it matches, and then I just stuck this down and I think it turned out just fine. It does kind of remind me of like a 4th of July kind of theme, but just that, just that one card. And I've got stars, I've got stripes, and I've got red, white, and blue. But I do have some grays, so that kind of tones it down a little bit. So I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with this so delicious area here. Now that I look at those, that arrow didn't look that bad. But I definitely knew that I wanted that star there, so I think I just went ahead and stuck it down. I want to say snap. Is that a snap? That's not a snap. It's something. Maybe it is a snap. That doesn't sound right. Anyways, so yeah, I fiddle fart with these. These words in particular. There's like shine and wonder and love and life, I think. There's a couple of different ones, but I only use a couple of them because I don't want to do too much. And there is a couple of, I think there's only one. There's only one card that I actually don't do like anything with, and it's the striped one that I'm over the top of right now. You can see that I'm watching one of my uplines in a video there on the bottom left. She is my grand upline signed up under her, so she was telling us how she rocks her business, and I was just kind of listening in while I did my work, and so yeah. That is one thing about voiceovers, is that the videos don't take near as long, and I can, not be distracted by, other things. I can actually just listen to something or, whatever, and just tell you what I'm doing and what I'm working with and all that kind of stuff. I do kind of miss the live videos, but maybe one day. Maybe one day when the kids are back to school. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that adjustment works. So yes, I am trying to figure out how to put that little combination of stickers in. So those little stickers are like wordfetti kind of stickers, and I'll tell you what, they needed to go on this layout. They were like the perfect color, and this is what it's all about, is like a perfect saying for, cake photos. And so I knew it was going to go somewhere. I just had no idea where. And then I saw this little extra banner piece that had been cut off of something, and I was like, okay, well, I'll use that. And then this one, the black and white spot there, label, I was intending to use it, kind of horizontally on a couple other photo, or on a photo, and then I decided against it because it seemed like it took up too much space. And so that's when I decided to try it vertically, and it turned out perfect. So just kind of added that in there, and it give it a couple of pops of color. I think it turned out just fine. And like I said, I added a lot more to this layout than I had any other layout, I think, in his birthday stuff. So yeah, I'm just kind of showing you that I decided, you know what, this one needs a little bit of something. I'm not sure what it needs or how many it needs or what all it needs, but it needs something. So I take my, what are they, enamel dots, and I just kind of spread them around and get kind of an even spray, and then I show it to you again. And I do try to show you guys the little pocket pages without the glare on them because it's really hard to do. So this is the end of this first birthday series. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.